common mistake that leaders take around 360 is that they look at the feedback and they say, they want to find out who said what. Can I find out, where the concerns are and go to that, area or person individually. I totally discourage that because the intent is not to really determine who said what and why. It's more of what are the trends? What are the, things that are common around the feedback, and how does that really relate to where you want to go and what the organization says is important for the next level up in that. So try to be objective and step back and not necessarily look at development from what the surface is, but more so under the surface. Another common, a couple of areas that, I've worked on in the last week, I had an executive that says his opportunities, we determined one of the opportunities is his listening skills. So you take that as a surface is, are you really not listening to your employees or to your peers? No, it's not that he's not listening, but there are other factors that are, coming into play. Is he really kind of just highlighting the areas that pertain to him when, he talks with either employees or his peers around, what he heard? Is he kind of highlighting or summarizing what he heard to confirm it? Are there parts that he's missing from an aspect of follow-up? What am I supposed to do based on what I've heard? So those are some common themes that you see around listening, is just acknowledging what you heard, confirming that you understand it, and then as well as, really kind of narrowing what are the actions that either you or I are taking away from this conversation.
When you say what are the trends, explain what that means.
We have worked with leaders typically either in a high potential program or they have been identified through a succession plan that they are ready or on the watch for a higher level position. So we try to look at that group in general, whether they're across companies, across different industries, and just really kind of look at the themes of what is common at the level, particularly as I work with SMU, Southern Methodist University, and the Corporate Executive Development Program, particularly with leaders who are minorities or are women. We typically rise to mid-level management very quickly. We gain the trust of our coworkers and our employees very quickly, but then there is, kind of a sudden halt at that mid-level, and you just don't see the representation at the executive level as much. And what we have found is that there are some of those strategic skills that minorities in particular are lacking, or just the opportunity to be recognized and included in that aspect. So part of my role is to help work with leaders that have been identified like that one-on-one and help them really develop a individual development plan so that they are preparing themselves for the next level or an executive level role.